Hey everybody, welcome to Intentional Academy Live, episode 19.
19.
19. I'm Tony Farrar, joined by Nicole Farrar, Justin Thomas, and we're here to help you squeeze every last drop of value out of your education. We're here to show you how to win through the power of intentional learning, no matter where you are in life. We're here to help you manage your time, get control of your money, and launch your dream career. It's that time of year. Exams are like next week. This is the last full week of classes.
And it finally stopped snowing.
And it finally stopped snowing.
No, she jinxed it.
I crossed my fingers and there's wood.
It's going to rain and snow tonight. You brought this on us.
Shush. By the way, if you're still watching after 19 episodes, thank you.
Hey, or if it's your first, welcome aboard. This is the one.
Is it?
I think so. I think this is.
Neo was the one.
Nice try.
Okay.
Now we want to watch that movie.
Yeah, right. Or all three. Okay, just the first one.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
We're talking about getting an internship for this summer.
Dun dun dun.
Wait a minute. Career fair was in October. If you didn't make that one, there was another one in March. Isn't it too late? I mean, summer's like 2 weeks away.
Never too late.
It's never too late to make money, but we're going to teach you how to, maybe get something a little more applicable to why you're in school.
I'm saying, I don't think it's too late. So we're going to issue the Intentional Academy Challenge, Intentional Academy Internship Challenge. Does that sound good?
Sure.
It goes like this.
Get a job.
That's much better.
There you go. And after what we tell you works, which it will,
okay,
hit us up, tell us your story, and we'll feature you. We'll tell your story for you. We'll bring you on to tell it yourself. Whatever it is you like, come be a part of the show.
Sounds good.
Hashtag get a job.
That's much better.
So I'm going to start with a little story.
Okay.
Some people have heard it, other people haven't. That's pretty much the whole world. Right? Either they've heard it or they haven't. That's the whole world.
Sure.
And then we're going to give you some fast action bullet points that's going to make this all go together.
Okay.
Actually get a job for this summer in your field, relevant, and I'll give you a 100% money back guarantee. Oh, wait, this is free. But I guarantee you will be working in your field this summer.
That's bold.
Uh-huh.
I think we should also kind of share some personal stories on getting.
We'll fill it in there. We'll fill it all in.
So stop me from being a lecturer and take over as per usual. But here's how it works. I graduated college for the last time in 2015. And I went and I worked a fancy job called a postdoc, which is just kind of like an internship for professors. And the plan was 2 years, but 9 months in, 2 things happened. One, we found out our son was on the way. That's the good part.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, we found out that the funding for my position had evaporated. And so, pregnant wife, kid on the way, unemployed PhD. So I go into full freak out mode. I applied to 100 jobs on the internet.
Tirelessly. Bags under the eyes, sitting at Wi-Fi hotspots tirelessly.
I was looking up jobs that I didn't even know if they made sense and sending them to him. This says engineering.
Yep. That was it.
Maybe he can work there.
I applied to 2 custodial engineering positions. Every engineering job I could find that was even remotely related, I applied to it, freaked out, and heard crickets. I talked to somebody today who applied to like 60 jobs and got 7 rejection emails and no interviews.
No answers from anyone else, right?
And no answer from anybody else. They beat me. I applied for 100 jobs and I didn't even get a single rejection email. Nothing.
No notification, nothing.
Just
silence.
Yeah. Launch these things out into the ether and hope you're...
Which is frustrating because then you're like, are they going to ever answer back? Maybe they will.
Right.
Did they even get it?
Yeah.
Did they get lost?
And that little confirmation email just sat there pestering me. Like, maybe they did it, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
And then you don't want to turn something else down.
Right.
That's crummy because you might get another job.
Fear of missing out, like nobody's business.
Yeah.
So that led to a minor freak out that led to me trying to get smarter, because that's usually what happens when things don't work for me. I go read, and then I watch stuff, and then I listen to podcasts, and then I make it mine. And what we're going to tell you today is what I did. And I applied to the equivalent of 25 more jobs, and I got 25 phone calls. I at least got a phone interview with every one of them.
So, Tony, what did you do?
But wait, it didn't just work for me. I've been coaching students on this for 2 years now, and it's working for them too. My new favorite story, by the way, is somebody who just barely cleared a 3.0 by hustling like crazy last semester. So these aren't like best of the best grades or whatever. That's not the thing.
Okay. This
person did what we're talking about here and got the biggest offer coming out of undergrad that I've ever heard of by $20,000. I mean, massive.
So probably more than you.
Actually, good job. All right, so you're in a hurry and you want a job right now that's in your field.
What do you do?
Here comes 4 steps. Okay. Step 1, don't forget the long game.
I was supposed to read those.
Oh, I thought that was going to be at the end.
Oh, okay.
Read it.
You said it was highlighted. Read the highlighted part. First, don't forget the long game.
Heyo. One of the big problems that we run into is that we feel the pressure to fit. We want to apply and we want to be successful. And a lot of times that almost turns into us inadvertently trying to trick companies into hiring us.
It's like dating.
Yeah.
Presenting your best self, right?
There you go.
Your professional Tinder profile.
Which way do you swipe?
I have no clue.
Swipe correctly.
I met you before all of that.
I know.
Let me tell you, we don't exactly have a viral following right now. This thing hasn't gone like crazy.
Sure.
And yet I get a DM every day on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, one of those things, of some marketing person asking me to collaborate to help them sell stuff to college kids.
Huh.
Hey, neat profile. Help me sell stuff.
Interesting.
Delete. If you want to get somebody to do something with you, step 1 is to actually have a relationship with them. Imagine how irritating it would be if a person who's 2 years behind wherever you are in life came up and asked you to help them do all the things that you did 2 years ago. Out of the blue, Jeepers, mister, can you help me? Don't be like that. So, first step is don't forget the long game. Network every day, forever. Your goal in life is to meet people's needs, and the best way to do that is to find people who need stuff, especially stuff you know how to do. So,
or just establish a network so that when a need arises, you're there to meet it.
Absolutely nothing wrong with having a big network. There's no downside to this. And in the short term, watch what happens if you do exactly what I tell you right now for just a few days, because it goes like this. Go on to that site that everybody likes to put their resumes on. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
It's called Pay Us. No.
Yeah, right? Yeah. $100, please. If you go there, what you'll find is that most people who use this thing do the exact same lame thing. They upload their profile, they click connect with everybody they work with, and then it sits there languishing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's actually a social network. It's a thing where you can network and meet people, and not just anybody, lots of important people. So here's the trick. Go on LinkedIn and find a professional who does what you want to do someday, plus a person from HR from every company in your industry. Wake up tomorrow morning and give me 12. Next day, do 12 more, and just keep doing this. And connect, follow them, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, what's going to happen is your newsfeed is going to be filled with stuff that is industry specific, relevant to you, so you can learn how to be better while watching the people who you hope are going to hire you tell you what they care about.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're at it, you hit the like button and the share button. Like, share, because you know why people are posting all that stuff? They want the attention. They want the recognition. Give it to them. And as you do this, what you're going to quickly be able to do is see when one person shares something that somebody else would care about.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can go on there and instantly drop a comment that just says, hey, Jim, thought you might like this. And now you've just connected two people and you're the one in between. That's a love triangle that you want to be a part of. Boom, 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 boom.
So,
second trip, fish where the fish are. If all you do is apply to big names, you are chasing after all of the most competitive space, leaving most of the opportunities sitting on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody applies to and list the companies that just came to your mind. There they are. Everybody knows those companies. You can go ahead and assume every single one of those gets 10,000 applications, every job they post online.
And they'll
So they
have between 1 and I don't know. It might be limited based on funding too. So very limited opportunity based versus how many applicants. I mean,
sure.
Right. So the trick is to apply places that people haven't heard of. And it turns out this is going to be fun for you because these are typically companies of 50 to 500 employees, the so-called small business, where interns actually get to do something and professionals actually get to do something too. And so you're going to be watching people do the thing you hope to do when you grow up and be a part of it.
And that's a much better experience because you get closer hands-on with, you know what I mean? If you're in a huge company, you're not going to see what the upper ups are doing.
Nope.
You know, it's grunt work. And it's better to be doing grunt work around somebody who's doing the real work.
Yep.
So it's not just that. In a lot of innovative companies today, they are looking for the fresh, unmolded people to come in with a completely just out there, give us ideas, tell us what you think sort of deal, and nothing that's pseudo indoctrinated in the workforce. Like that you come in without any preconceived notions and can give just 100% of your vision without having to. I mean, we were talking about it today, and I was doing a digital engineering workshop, and they want all sorts of different visions and not just engineering to help mold these concepts, because a lot of times it's that out of the box person thinking, taking the blinders off.
Yes. And so that actually brings up a really good point, that the lack of experience isn't actually doing bad things for you like you might think it is. It's really your inability to do the stuff we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. Market yourself, make connections, meet people, become a relevant part of the professional community.
Mm-hmm.
And so the secret that I coach people to do,
mm-hmm.
and this works in every industry. I know I talk a lot about engineering, but this works elsewhere. Okay? Find subcontractors. Every single federal grant comes along with a big company that's doing stuff and then all the subcontractors that are working for them. And they do this in climate studies, and they do it in engineering, and they do it in demographic studies and education studies. If you work with people and marketing, they do it for all of it. They're easy to find because they're located within 5 miles of a base or a government facility, or they're listed online in the federal budget.
Huh.
And it's a whole bunch of companies you've never heard of, which means your competition hasn't heard of them either. Places where you're more likely to get on the phone with somebody and actually have a conversation and do something,
mm-hmm.
which brings us to
step 3. Stop applying online.
We said it just a second ago. Every online posting, you can just go ahead and assume it's 10,000 applications. Might be more, might be less. The point is, are you really filtering to the top based on a bunch of names and numbers on your piece of paper?
Yeah.
It has gotten so easy to apply for jobs that people who aren't even looking for jobs apply. You just click the button, apply, upload your thing, monster.com, apply, Monster, you owe us $100. The really interesting thing, this might have changed, but this is like a 2-year-old statistic. 70% of the jobs currently open in America are not posted on the internet. 70%. Mm-hmm.
Well, I know I've mentioned this once before, but back when my father and mother were looking for jobs, there really wasn't internet postings and things. So they would just walk into places that weren't even looking for people.
Mm-hmm.
And they did exactly what you're trying to get people to do today, which is, these are the things I'm good at. I'm a great worker, whatever it is, what you can offer. They walk into a place and say, I can offer this to you. Please take advantage.
Yeah.
And that's how my dad got half of his jobs.
Because legitimately, you have the ability to walk
yourself.
into those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't really do that as much anymore.
Sure you can.
Know. Well,
using this thing.
I just mean, it's not as customary to walk into a place and talk to a front desk receptionist that has zero decision-making, HR departments, what have you.
Sure, but thanks to these things, we can actually do that without even leaving the house.
That's what I mean.
I mean, we are legit on live TV right now. And we didn't have to ask anybody's permission or pay anybody $1. Okay, maybe my internet provider, but the point is, we have more access than we've ever had.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
And you just have to use it, which kind of brings up a side point to all of this, which is, if you're sitting around complaining about the fact that there are no jobs, and then you watch TV and go out with your friends and, you know, spend your life just wishing you had a job, your actions don't match your goal. What we're talking about here isn't even a lot, but at some point you got to actually do the hustle.
Yeah.
You got to actually form the relationships. You've got to make yourself different than everyone around you.
And I don't believe that's true, because I hear about people looking for employees all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I just heard an advertisement on the radio, actually. Forget what it was for. It was something big, like a university was hiring multiple areas.
Really?
Yeah. No. No, it was multiple areas. Like they needed, some of them were simple jobs. Like they needed cooks and they needed whatever, you know, administrative stuff.
Usually that person who's gloomy all the time about the state of affairs is somebody who didn't try very hard and it didn't work, and they're looking for conventional wisdom to justify the fact that it didn't work for them. And so, if you're not going to apply online,
give yourself an internship.
Not that's the last one.
I thought that's what you were leading to. You had a big pause.
Two more bullets there.
That was a dramatic pause. I don't know what you're talking about.
Instead, what we got to do is build relationships. See previous stuff. But this right here is the actual process that I used to get my 25 applications turned into 25 phone calls. Step one, I did not apply online. Instead, I figured out somebody that could be my boss in the future, and I emailed them. Sometimes this takes creativity. Sometimes it's really easy because it's on the website. I did actually call a switchboard or the operator thing and asked for talk to the leader of such and such division, and they laughed at me. So I hung up and called back, and some other operator answered. I did that like 3 times. Eventually, I actually got through and figured out who this person was. And then I sent them an email. And that email just introduced myself, say, hi, I am from one thing that I'm interested in is. I'm Tony Farrar from Virginia Tech. My specialty is thermal fluids. I'm excited about your company. Just wanted to let you know, in a couple of days, I'm going to send you my resume. Don't ask for anything. Just let them know it's about to happen. And most of the time what happens is they respond to you with, that's nice, but we have an online application system. Leave me alone. Delete, ignore. 2 days later, do exactly what you promised them you'd do. Email them your resume. Add your cover letter to it and a little message that said, hey, thanks for taking a look at this. I'm really excited about talking with you about possibilities. How's Tuesday? Does that feel pushy to you? Oh, wait, it worked. Ask the guy that I work for. This worked at every single one of the jobs I applied to.
Yep.
At that point, if they write back and say, please go apply online, go apply online. Well, and then write them back and say, hey, thanks for suggesting I apply online. I've just completed that. Can we talk on Tuesday? I'll call you at 10.
And the whole point of this is that now the person who potentially could be your boss or is involved in some way, how knows, has seen your name 3 times. You've applied online, and they go, oh, I remember that annoying person. They emailed me 3 times. It's like that incessant commercial that's like, oh, all right already.
Right.
But
it's
you remember.
Like the marketing people figured out that if you hear something 3 times, you remember it.
Yeah.
It's like the marketing people figured out that if you hear something 3 times, you remember it. It's like the marketing.
Okay, we're good. It's like.
But now everybody's going to forget.
But yeah,
And then
it's like an election though. It's like name recognition.
It is. Right? Because then when they see your name in that stack of 10,000, they'll think, "Oh, well, that one was interesting. Let's look."
Or at least this person is clearly interested because they took the time and the effort,
Yeah. And then when they
to
go
do
visit,
something other than hit apply.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, in your email signature, you add that little link to your profile on LinkedIn.
And all the other social media stuff you should be doing to build your network.
And then when they go look at it and discover that it's not just your resume again, that you're actually interacting with the community and a part of this professional society already, boy, are you interesting. And now you've got somebody on the phone and you have one job. Be you. And if it works, you got a job. And if it didn't, you learned something.
By the way, you've got at least 2 people right now that did this exact process, and their current positions are a result. So wait a minute. No, not yet. Not yet. Don't do it. There was one other network that you should leverage, and it's not a professional network, and it worked for me for an internship. It's your personal network.
Yep.
I got an engineering internship for the company that my mom was a bookkeeper for. I leveraged that in. But you may have neighbors. You may go to church with there's a lot of people at your church that may be in your industry that you could say, hey, they may not be the boss, but they may know who it is, things like that. So there's a lot of personal relationships that you may be able to work with as well.
Right.
That's how I got my internship, or one of them anyway. My mother was part of a business that was donating a lot of money and stuffed animals and things like that to a nonprofit organization. And when she was doing that, she had to meet with the whatever vice president of the organization and got to know her as a contact. And so I was interested in doing public relations for nonprofits. And we always did stuff. My mom worked for Make-A-Wish, and I was always involved with that kind of thing. And so she said, hey, I wonder if such and such research foundation is looking for an intern. So she had that contact. I gave her a call. I said, hey, need any help? I love working in nonprofits. She said, yeah, come on in.
So cool.
And so that was like a contact through a contact. I mean, and most people, especially if you're willing to intern for free, which I know isn't always 100% ideal, are accepting of the help.
Yeah.
Depending on, what it is.
Absolutely.
So.
And I've got a story kind of like that too, actually. Maybe it's a stat. Every one of my internships did not come from applying online or going to a career fair. They came from going to a seminar that somebody was giving on campus and then having a conversation with that person after the seminar that they gave about their topic, not about me.
Sure.
And that turned into one thing that turned into another, and then eventually that turned into internships.
Yep.
So even that, not quite a personal network, but same kind of deal. Yep. Somebody was brought in for some other reason, and you flip it.
Yeah. It's a lot harder, and it makes you feel so desperate when you're literally just walking up to a stranger and saying, please give me a job, as opposed to, hey, I know your friend or mom or neighbor or whatever, like Justin was saying.
Which is the whole point of this. The more relationship building you do, the easier it is for them to talk to you and picture the fact that, oh man, I wouldn't actually hate working with this person all summer.
Yeah. Or not even that. If you're, let's say I contacted that nonprofit and they said, you know what, we just don't really have anything for you to do here right now. You don't think that they're in their own network of gosh knows how many other nonprofits or businesses that say, hey, I know so-and-so's looking for somebody, or
absolutely,
even that can lead you to just another recommendation.
And that's how I got my first job at the place I am right now, is that somebody got my resume and say, I'm not looking, but she is. Here you go.
That's cool.
Yep.
And when all of these things don't go quite the way you wanted to, so you learn a lot, I'm not going to call it fail.
No, you can't fail.
But when you've learned a lot and still find yourself without a paid internship, you bring up the fourth and final tactic, which is
give yourself an internship.
Work for free until somebody pays you to do it for them. whatever it is that you want to do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a project in that field and just start working about it and then telling everybody about it and watch what happens. You want to get into marketing? Guess what? The world's your oyster. Start marketing something.
Yep.
Guarantee you, if you market something successfully for somebody, they'll thank you for it.
Well, and in that, you just have to find the opportunities and think outside the box. Okay, you want to do marketing, right? Go find a bunch of new businesses.
Yeah.
They'll accept free marketing. Trust me. Places like us, when we're getting started in Intentional Academy, if we had people coming to us say, hey, I want to work on web design. Yes, please. Come help us with our website for free.
The guy with the lawnmower on the trailer down the street. Like, he's a small business. He's doing a lawn business, things like that.
I mean, literally anyone. There are people out there who will accept free help in any field.
Yep. If that means you got to do something else like flip burgers to make ends meet while you're doing this in the evenings until somebody picks you up, fine. Yep. Part of your story, part of the legacy, part of the thing that's going to make you have something unique to do.
Yeah.
And this works not just for something like that, by the way. I spent a winter break where I didn't have anything else occupying me, building a computer simulation, an engineering computer simulation. And I have talked about that thing in so many different interviews since then. I show this to my students learn from it, and then I use it in interviews for getting jobs. I've used this everywhere, and it all, basically gave myself a free winter internship to develop a computer simulation.
Yep.
Engineering does it too. Whoa.
Ooh, I need more water because we keep talking.
Work for free. Here's some.
So should I recap those 4?
Recap.
All right. So we don't want to forget the long game. We're in it to win ultimately with your dream job. Fish where the fish are. Big corporations. Big pile of resumes. Small businesses. More opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Stop applying online. We need to check our numbers, but approximately 70% of the jobs are not posted online that are available to you. And finally, give yourself an internship. If there's not a company that you can find right now that's willing to hire you, show them, give them reasons. You want to be a web developer? Make a website. You want to be a programmer? Find something that needs to be programmed and give it away for free.
Man, that was like poetry.
Yeah. Way to summarize. I just thought of, I always try and think of other fields too, because Tony always engineering. It's really difficult to get into the journalism industry because I did communications and that wasn't really what I was interested in, but a lot of my friends were. It's just the way media is nowadays. And so write your own article.
Oh.
You know how many people write blogs and
but
then get discovered
Yeah.
and get sponsorships and are asked to blog about certain things. And
but I mean, even freelancing, like you get paid for it. I know a lot of people who, go out, find a story, write about it, contact them and say, hey, I've got this story. You might not work for that newspaper or that online, whatever, but if you're interested in working hard and making something good product, they're going to read it and go, huh.
That's it.
And they'll pay you.
I heard you could get good money for getting pictures of Spider-Man.
That's also a really good point. Photography too.
Yeah.
Like pictures for things. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway.
Since we're piling on things like that, another really fun one is teach somebody else how to do what you do. Whether it's a video series that you put on YouTube or little posts or blogs or go work with a kid one-on-one, teach somebody how to do the things you already know how to do and watch what happens there. Because once again, relationships, things grow.
Yep.
Okay, that was fun. I just wanted to say one last thing, strategy session-wise. So shifting gears completely. The lesson's done. Guys, I am so psyched about this podcast stuff. I'm completely hyped for Anchor. This is the app. This is the thing. It is so neat. You can have people call in. You can go back and forth. You can post little like micro things, and then they assemble together. It's going to be blast. And we've got all this cool stuff in the hopper. I've got big, long interviews with students that I've done telling all kinds of interesting stories.
I know, we really got to cut that up.
I've got a weekly meeting with somebody. Actually, the person I told you about who got the high-paying job offer.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to meet next week. He might not know I'm pitching this to him yet, but I think we could edit that into like a multi-episode documentary on how he got this job.
It'd be pretty cool.
It'd be really neat. We've been documenting it, so why not use it for something?
I think we should, just because it's such an interesting story, and I think a lot of people would really benefit from it. And it's very inspiring because it's not this was handed to you kind of a situation.
Right.
Like he really worked hard. He did a lot of did a lot of work and was an amazing outcome. So I think it would be good.
And on top of all of this new content, we will have now 19 episodes of what we've been calling a podcast,
which will eventually actually become that because they're recorded now. We've got them. We'll post that too.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned. It's coming really soon. I've almost got this thing figured out and understand how to make it.
Why didn't we do this on Instagram before?
I don't know. Hi, Instagram. Thank you.
Thanks, Elisa. I miss you too.
Guys, you have anything else? Did we make it?
I don't know. Just anything else about internships, Justin, that you have to... I know we wanted to talk about the...
Don't forget that your university has a lot of tools that, you don't have to worry about just LinkedIn. You don't have to worry about Monster. I know where I went, there was a career development building. I could walk there and they had all sorts of people that were doing career counseling. They were doing psychological counseling. You can put your resume on there too. I got a cold call from that and got an internship just because my resume was on the school's website, not the big one.
Yeah, I was going to say that about, I didn't get a job through this. I know other people who have, but colleges like Virginia Tech has that like Hokie network where you can post your resume on there and it's like kind of an alumni networking situation. And that got people phone calls too.
Ingersoll Rand literally had a slogan that said Ingersoll Rand hires Hokies. Cold call.
How many product placements was that? They owe us.
I don't know.
They owe us.
That portion of the business was sold to a Korean company called Doosan, so can we get paid twice?
But yeah.
Oh no, I love this stuff. Oh, and dang it, you just reminded me of something and it evaporated just like that. What was I gonna say?
That happens often.
Oh, Alumni Association. Did you know that there are people in the Alumni Association that really miss being in college and would love the opportunity to take some current students under their wing?
Oh,
that's a thing. Go find the director of your Alumni Association and just do this and watch what happens.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They just want to be a part of the school.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder for them than you would think because most students are too busy to accept that kind of a relationship.
Sure. And don't forget other things like study abroad. I did that one summer. I know it's not on topic, but
it's always on topic.
I know
that falls in the category of give yourself an internship.
Okay. Yeah.
I like it.
If you can make things like that happen, but
growing culturally.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to travel either. Can't find a job in your town? Go to Europe.
I like it.
Go anywhere. Honestly, I think the thing that I know people want to get paid, but some of the best experiences I've ever had have been for things like nonprofits and just volunteering for things. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Becoming a part of that, even just a little bit for a couple of weeks, like Todd going to Puerto Rico and stuff like that.
Yes.
Multiple times now, gosh.
Somebody's given a tip here on Instagram. They say to always say hi to people.
Yep.
Fact. See, I thought this was just what people did, but apparently that's just in the South. When you make eye contact with somebody and you just say hi. Around here, I get kind of weird looks for that.
No, it was great walking with you through Temple. It was great because you You literally walk through the front door, and it doesn't matter. It's the security person. It's the person that is taking out the trash. It's the student that's headed to the next class. I mean, it's everyone, and they all mostly appreciate that you are noticing them. Your head's not in your phone with down.
Yeah, it's definitely a cultural thing too, though, because living in Virginia for 10 years, when we came back, I was kind of surprised. I thought people didn't like me. I'm like, why am I saying hi? Or I tried talking to the lady at the grocery store, like the gas station. They're like, why are you talking to me?
It's always because I think around here you say hi and people might like give you a nod or something. Where down there hi is a paragraph, right?
Right.
The minimum passing is hi, how are you? Great, how are you? Good, have a nice day. That's like the shortest conversation you can have with somebody, and you have to have it with everybody that you make eye contact with.
Yeah.
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this sound. But it is crazy what happens when you start to adopt a servant mentality. And I don't mean subservient. I mean seeing people and caring enough about them just to know them.
Well, think about it. Just casual conversation. And this not everything has an agenda, but you say hi to somebody at the grocery store. Maybe it's somewhere you frequent, right? You go to the same one because it's close by. Start talking to the cash register lady that you run into all the time. She's telling you about her kids. How's your weekend? Oh, I visited my son. Da da da. Oh yeah, where does he work? Oh, he's looking for a job for somebody to work. Like that. I just remember hearing about those things. I didn't need those opportunities at the time when we were in Virginia necessarily, but I was always hearing about them just from literally intertwining your lives with other people and hearing about what's going on in their life.
Absolutely.
And who they know and what they're doing. So.
Yep.
Human beings. That's what we are.
Be kind.
So everybody has homework. Go find 12 new people to follow in your professional network. Just like that, your world opened up. Anything else?
I don't know. We've been talking a while.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Before we hang up, though, I want to give the Instagram folks a behind-the-scenes tour of our studio. You're going to love this. Everything about what we're doing here is authentic. You have to be willing to work for free. We are currently working an internship and giving people advice.
Never. What does that say?
What's that?
Oh.
Never sick of it. So here's the Intentional Academy live studio. We have the bananas that we're holding the phone up so that you could see us on Instagram, complete with spill-proof cup behind it. That's for the kid, not for us. We've got the laptop with the show notes, the little conversation that we're having with Justin via there. He's our awesome producer, miles away and doing fabulous. That phone's recording the podcast just using voice memos. And our arts and crafts box is holding it all up so that the webcam that comes out of the front of our laptop is at the right height so that we don't look like this.
Don't you dare put me on camera. We don't want you to see up our nose.
How about that?
Oh, and one final win, Tony. One final win.
One final win?
Yesterday, we made our last payment on our HVAC. So we now own the heating and cooling that our house is.
Nice. Debt-free journey, one step closer.
Almost there.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
We can see the light.
Yes.
Cool.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, if anyone has questions. We have 2 followers.
What's up? All right, how about this? Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being part of the show. Thank you for tuning in. Instagram, Facebook, we love you. That's why we're here, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. If this experience has added value to your life, it might just add value to somebody else's. So that little tip I was giving about hit the like button and the share button applies here too. Push all the buttons. And while you're at it, leave a comment. What we love to do is answer questions that you have. And so if you have them, drop a comment and ask, and we'll answer it next week. In the meanwhile, we're on all the socials. Come find us and hang out. And above all, go do something on purpose today.
Or share your internship experience as well.
That's right. Hashtag get a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's the Intentional Academy Challenge. When what we told you works,
please share. Come
tell us about it, and we'll highlight you however you like. How about that?
Sounds good.
Cool. Hey, have a great night, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night.
Bye. Bye.